What is going on, guys? RonMan coming back at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at Battletoads Double Dragon for Super Nintendo. Also, if you're new here and you like my content, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as well as that bell notification so you stay up to date with RonMan Gaming. Battletoads Double Dragon was developed by Rare and published by Tradewest for the NES in June of 1993, but later that year was ported to the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy. Now, if you've been watching my content for any length of time, you may know that I'm a pretty strong critic of Battletoads. I fucking hate Battletoads. I want to like Battletoads. I mean, I think the characters are cool, but it just seems like Rare can't seem to make a good Battletoads game. With that being said, I think they finally hit the nail on the head with Battletoads Double Dragon, because I think this game is awesome and is really the only Battletoads game I like. I have not played the Game Boy version, but I thoroughly enjoy all versions of Battletoads Double Dragon, and yes, there are differences between all versions. However, in this video, we're talking about just the Super Nintendo version, which, by the way, I think is the easiest. Upon turning the game on, you're presented with a cast roll of all the playable characters as well as the bosses. It's neat to get a preview of the bosses who are waiting to pound your ass, or play target practice with your butt. Oh god, I hope he's not expecting a bullseye or a hole-in-one. Seems kind of sexually inappropriate, but I digress. Between all the levels, you get a small cutscene showing what just happened and a glimpse of what's next. The presentation in this game is fantastic. The graphics are superb and absolutely do not disappoint. All the character sprites and stage graphics are fun to look at, and they all seem to have an above average level of polish. The music is some of the best beat-em-up music you'll find, but is that really a surprise considering David Wise composed the soundtrack? Check it out. Is it even possible to listen to this and not want to hurt something? Battletoads Double Dragon is not a very long game with only 7 levels each with a couple stages. The majority of the game appears to take place in outer space. After picking up the Lee brothers, your team is then dropped onto the outside of a spacecraft referred to as the Colossus. Considering how much of the game takes place in space, they sure did a great job at making the journey feel fresh throughout with a variety of level settings. I love how the first level has you fighting on the tail of the Colossus, then you're exploring the inside. I think my favorite level is Missile Mayhem. How cool is it to be fighting on board a fast-traveling missile? I also love how this missile was designed to destroy Earth, but there's like rooms with windows and doors and shit all over it. Like, who made this missile? And who paid for it? I just imagine, like, pretend the Dark Queen was successful. She's like, haha, there goes the missile. Yeah, we just destroyed the Earth. Haha. Haha. Alright, well, I'm kind of hungry now. Hey guys, should we order pizza? Oh, that's right, we just destroyed the Earth. No more pizza. Oh. Well, I guess we can always watch some TV. Oh, that's right, we destroyed the Earth, so there's no more TV. Okay, I guess we'll just kind of hang out for a bit. Battletoads Double Dragon is, of course, a crossover game, but make no mistake, this is primarily a Battletoads game. That being said, many of the frustrations from the original Battletoads have been removed. Although not nearly as tough as the original, this game is still really challenging and is not for the faint of heart. Some people praise the original Battletoads for having so many unique gameplay elements. While I understand where people are coming from, the biggest problem that comes from that type of design, and in the case of Battletoads in particular, each level feels like a brand new game, and thus you have to constantly master new playstyles and controls. When I was trying to beat the original Battletoads, I would be doing so well, and then suddenly I get to a new level, and then I would just die repeatedly because I just didn't know what to do. Then I'd have to play everything all over again just to have another chance to figure out what to do. How annoying is that? In the case of Battletoads Double Dragon, this doesn't really happen. It's because this game actually knows what it wants to be, and that is a beat 'em up. There is one Asteroids type level to add a bit of spice, but otherwise this is a beat 'em up through and through. Once you've played the first level and have a good grasp of the controls, you're set for the rest of the game, for the most part. There are just a few other areas where the controls may take a moment to realize. One example example is in Stage 3 with swinging on the ropes. But otherwise, I found that in Battletoads Double Dragon, there aren't any major surprises. This change in game design alone causes the game to be much less frustrating. In my opinion, this change was for the better. In Battletoads Double Dragon, you have 5 playable characters, Rash, Pimple, and Zitz, as well as both Bimmy and Jimmy Lee. Yeah, technically there are 5 playable characters, but really there are only 2, a toad or a dragon. See, all 3 Battletoads play exactly the same. There's no difference between any of them other than their color. The same can be said for the dragons. They're both the same other than their color. Now, one major problem with the Super Nintendo version in particular is that the toads fucking suck. You are much better off playing this game as one of the dragons. They're much faster and they actually have an effective jump attack, unlike the toads. I guess you could consider the toads as a sort of hard mode. I'll give you a few examples. In level 5, Missile Mayhem, certain rooms have an enemy named General Slaughter. Here's how easy he can be with one of the dragons. But with the toads, he's a bit more of a handful. In level 3, Ropes and Roper, toward the end of the level, there's a section with a moving floor and multiple ceiling crushers. There's an item capsule that contains invincibility, which makes this section so much easier. If you're one of the Lee twins, getting this item is no problem at all because they can just kick the capsule. But if you're one of the Toads, their hammer down attack takes too long, and by the time the move makes contact, the moving floor has already moved them far away from the capsule. It's not impossible, but it seems unnecessarily difficult. So here's the thing, I really can't tell if these examples were intentional and that the Toads are indeed a hard mode option, or if these examples are just more Battletoads oversights. Considering how shitty other Battletoads games are, it really wouldn't surprise me if these were oversights. Since we're already talking about oversights, check this out. In Stage 2, just after you exit this elevator, you'll see a capsule. If you hit it from the left, the 1-up goes off screen just enough that you can't get it. You fuckers. So make sure you hit it from the right side. This is so stupid because naturally you're going to hit it from the left because obviously that's what's intuitive. I think the pacing with Battletoads Double Dragon is much improved over the original Battletoads, but it's still not perfect. We still have the turbo tunnel early on, but thankfully it's made so much more forgiving this time around. However, there is a significant difficulty spike in Stage 3. Now I like Stage 3 a lot, but it's really long with a lot of pitfalls, ceiling crushers, and rope swinging. Whenever I have a buddy over and we're playing this 2 players, Stage 3 is always where the game ends. My second player is always never good enough to make it through Stage 3. The problem with the overall pacing is made apparent when you're much further in the game. Levels 2, 3, and 5 are all quite long and offer decent gameplay variety, but the last 2 levels feel like they were just quickly thrown together. When you're in the Shadow Bosses stage, it's just a quick run to the right. The final stage is an even quicker run to the right. Man, they really didn't put much effort into these final stages. What a bummer. Another issue that you may have a problem with is that most bosses can be defeated with nothing more than spamming the dash attack. Now this really doesn't bother me, but if you were hoping for interesting bosses who require unique skills and the application of intricate techniques, yeah, it ain't here. But that's okay because beating the shit out of all the standard enemies is so satisfying. Whether you're beating them with your fists or using the leg of a walker, it's not hard to feel like a badass. I also like how the Toads and the Dragons each have their own attack animations. It really helps to establish and distinguish their personalities. Alright, so there you have it, guys. I love this game. It's certainly not perfect, but I think it's a big step up from the original Battletoads. I do think it's a bummer that the Toads are so useless and the last few levels seem to have been quickly thrown together, but the rest of the game is a lot of fun and I definitely think it's worth your time. Have any of you guys beat this game, and which character do you like to play as? And for the record, I have beat this with both a dragon and a toad. Anyway, thank you so much guys, I really do appreciate you watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.